We have a sheepskin rug that needs cleaning. Is this something you do, and how would you take care of it? There are two main types of sheepskin rug. They are the ones like you have, lovely good quality. This one comes from John Lewis. It is more than one skin really. So you can see there, we at the back, I switch it over. You see we've got a stitch line there. This rug has been stitched together. It is very likely more than one skin that make up this bigger skin, even though it's been cut to look like a single skin. It is actually probably more than one sheep's skin here. And this is a beautiful skin. So these items have been sold. You probably would have paid about, I roughly guess, maybe £100 for this. Maybe you paid 150 for this. But here's the reality. You can pick these things up for as little as 30, sometimes even £20, and they look absolutely amazing. Beautiful and fluffy and gorgeous and white, and they just feel so soft, and you fall in love with them the first time you see them, and they're so beautiful. And then you buy them and you take them home, and within 3 weeks, they are not that same rug anymore. They are clumpy and now dirty, and they are not so good. Now, reality is most of those are just actually a byproduct, and the £30 you spend on that rug is usually the cost they've had to make that rug, because the skin itself is a byproduct. And you will find that you can easily go and buy a new one for £30. Sadly, it goes so much against what I said earlier about saving the planet by using a bottle again, because most people would be better off throwing the rug away after a year and buy a new one for 30 than spend probably a good £60 cleaning that rug or getting it cleaned. But then there's the other rug, and this is similar to what I see here, but there are limitations. So please understand, Lisa, I want to help you as much as I can. So if you have a sheepskin rug, here's what the first thing is you need to look at before you take it around for cleaning. The first thing you want to do is take the rug. Let's get your closer up there and show you. So you take your rug, and what you want to do is grab hold of the hair. You want to grab hold of it, and you want to hold the leather at the back, and you want to give this a little bit of a pull, and you want to listen carefully. So you want to give it a bit of a pull, and not too hard. You just want to listen out for a bit of tearing, because if you pull this, the thing is the skin dries out, and if you pull, sometimes you literally can just end up pulling a lump of this out of the rug, and that indicates that this skin has gone so dry it easily lose that fiber. So you want to give this a pull, and this one seemed all right. You want to give it a bit of a pull. I listen out for a bit of crunching, but that doesn't happen here. The other thing you can do is take the rug and just squash it up together. So you want to give it a squeeze like that. And if you give it a squeeze and it's cracking and breaking, and then you know it's not good. But you can see the back of this rug, the leather there, is quite supple, it's quite soft, so it's really still malleable. It means that we've got the moisture still in the skin and it's still hanging onto the wool. So what you can do with this rug is we can gently clean this. The only downside is, do you see how lumpy this might be in places? So this wool has started sticking together, and you would not, in what we do to clean this, you would not get it back to that nice, beautiful, fluffy rug that you had many years ago when you bought this. Now, what you can do is, unfortunately, I've discovered they don't do it anymore. Eastern Counties Leather in Sawston do have, or had, a machine that brushed these rugs. So you can go to them and ask them if they can help, but they don't do multi-skin. This is a multi-skin rug, as I mentioned earlier, because we've got the stitches, they've been stitched together. So the rug is a bit too big for that. But in reality, this rug needs to go into that machine to brush it and give it a very nice fluffy look again. They used to do that for us many years ago, but unfortunately not anymore. So Lisa, what I would advise we do for you here is just keep this rug clean and make it look a little bit better and get a few more years out of it. We won't be able to get it absolutely a brand new rug again. It might be that we can brush it and give it a bit more fluffiness, but it's never going to be exactly the same as a new rug, and we'll take great care. But my advice is, if you have a rug like this, have a look at how dry that skin is. That back of the rug, how dry is the leather? You want to give it this big old squeeze and listen out for that cracking, and you want to pull this skin a little bit gently. Don't rip it out, but just gently, and soon you'll see it just comes off, and that's the point when, you know what, sadly it's just a replacement. So the other thing to do is you can also go and take it to your local dry cleaner. There are some dry cleaners that works with specialist cleaners that cleans this leather in a machine. A special solvent is used that's very gentle on these types of rugs, and they tend to come up quite nice. So that's probably something I would also consider. And if you're in Newmarket or in Bury St Edmunds, Farthings there are lovely people. They can certainly help. So in Bury St Edmunds, go and see Mickey. And in Newmarket, you can go and see James and Brian. They're really lovely people, and they can give you some advice. Alternatively, if you're in Cambridge or in the area, you can go and see Lawrence at Farthings in Trumpington or Farthings in Cambridge. Just watch out, because of the lockdown, there's certain days they're open and certain days not, and they can help you with your leather skins as well. But do be advised that sometimes your leather skin would have costed you £30, and the cleaning of that skin can be anything from 60 up to £150. And you, again, like that rug I talked about earlier, you need to understand the value of what's in your rug and whether it's worth it or not. I do not want you to make a journey all the way to the dry cleaners and they tell you, well, the cleaning is going to be £85 for the rug, and then you go, well, the rug was only £30, so you can go and buy a new one. That's probably the better thing to do anyway. As I said earlier, many skins at the £30 mark is only a byproduct of what it is that they did with the sheep, unfortunately, before it got slaughtered, and then the skin is left and they process it to just basically get their £20 back and their £10 for the extra hassle to make this happen and make their little £5 on the skin. So that's what I would advise, but please understand that there are also, just like this one, beautiful skins out there that has had a lot of work done to them, and the value of these skins are, of course, much more. So it's not that all sheepskins are like that, but unfortunately many are, but about a byproduct of it, and that's the reason why there's not great value in it.